Hello. Give me 1 second. One second. I am getting things set up, and then we will be doing the debate first. Then I'll react to viewer requests. We just gotta get one last thing, and then it'll be happening. I'm trying to get it. In the meantime, though, how is everyone doing? Let me share the stream on Discord real quick. All right, let's send this through. Here, I'm gonna move my mic over. Sorry for the loud noise that you're probably about to hear. All right, there we go. Sent it. I gotta add this real quick. Okay, we are ready. It is keyboard ASMR or keyboard. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, my keyboard is pretty loud. The mic's also pretty close to it. We are ready. I'm gonna join. Hello. Hello. My mic.
What is?
You cut out.
I cut out?
Yeah, I can still hear you though.
Okay, cool.
And before Lemon gets banned from streaming, why would I get banned, Pom?
The only person who gets banned is Nick Fuentes.
Well, and Vosh apparently.
He got banned? Why?
He got a copyright strike, so he can't stream
on YouTube on YouTube or on Twitch?
On YouTube. He's banned from Twitch.
From Twitch.
On YouTube, he can't stream for 90 days at least.
Really?
Or at most, actually.
Holy shit! Oh, that sucks. I guess he gotta use like DLive now.
Yeah, I mean DLive is
DLive is a cringe.
Yes. So since you're the guest, you can lie out what before we get into that, everyone, this is Vira. Go subscribe to him. Link is in the description. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you wanna just give a brief explanation of yourself and your channel?
My name is Vira. I'm a very small YouTuber, as you can see. I'm just gonna be streaming games, maybe with some political videos here and there. But if you like, games and gaming with a leftist spin, subscribe, because I'm gonna be posting a lot of content in the future.
Yeah. Someone said the link is not in the description. Hold on.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
I thought I put it there. Hold on. I'll send it in the streaming.
Okay.
If it's not, it says it's there for me, but.
Hey, comrade, I think you're exploiting my labor.
No, not that. This is not like the whole Hassan editor scandal. Okay.
Yeah.
So since you're the guest, if you want to lay out your positions, we're debating about immigration and what leftists should argue when it comes to the immigration topic.
Okay, yeah, sure. Basically, when it comes to immigration, I think the best way to argue for immigration, I guess, when you're trying to convert people in general, or trying to make a more facts-based argument, I think comes from argument from a economic standpoint, because it's factually borne out in data that with immigration, it does improve the economy and improves, like, I think, living standards after a while, even though there is a small um what's the word decrease in wages at first. It eventually, like, it rounds out, so it's easier to, I guess, use data in that case to make a better argument for immigration than just saying like you should be morally in favor of immigration.
All right. So
Mhm.
yeah, I guess I'll state my position and then I will rebuttal against yours. So I disagree. I think that the moral standpoint is way more convincing if you're gonna try and bring people over and convert them into being, I guess, left wing when it comes to immigration. Because
Mhm.
I think the moral argument, I think, is just more receptive and easier to make, and also probably easier to back just in general. That whatever country you're born into is pretty arbitrary, and it's like a random dice roll, and that we probably shouldn't like limit where people can live just based on that. Like, for example, if someone like was born in Honduras, since there's a lot of gang violence there, we probably
Mhm.
shouldn't just say since you were born there, you're not allowed to come to the U.S. Right? That's probably pretty fucked
Right.
up, and I think most people would get behind that, or at least be more receptive to that, to the economic argument. Because when
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start rebutting against you now, because when it comes to the economic argument, I feel like general and people on average just aren't as receptive to it. Because first of all, like, you most leftists even point out, like you and Vosh, for example, that it does result in a lowering of wages at first for a lot of like lower skilled workers. And then you also go on to make arguments about it raising the standard of living and like the GDP and stuff like that. But typical like everyday Americans know that like doesn't necessarily affect them. Like, it's not just because there's going to be higher GDP doesn't mean that they're going to
Mhm.
like face the benefits, especially when you were saying like there's going to be lower wages. Um what else? Also, like there's just like I mean like a fear in general among like the European and Western nations of like immigrants coming in and stealing people's jobs in the first place. So like it just seems like the economic arguments were already on the losing end, and the moral arguments are probably the route to go.
Okay. What I would say is, essentially, okay. So when normal people think about immigration, they think about, oh, big spooky brown people coming here. That's a fear. But however, when you ask them, oh, so would you rather have no immigration? And I assume at first they would say no. But if you then explain the repercussions of like this action, most of them would probably change their mind, because I would think if you say like, okay, we can ban immigration, but now it's going to cost like $10 for an orange, or it's going to cost $10 for this, or $10 for that, more than it would have cost if we just have a open borders or a more sensible immigration policy. So I think people will be more receptive to that viewpoint, rather than just like, oh, because like essentially, um how would I justify my axiom, like, oh, I morally believe it's right? You can't really, because they're axioms. Like, and same thing would apply for like if someone who's like anti-immigration, be like, oh, I think it's morally wrong to allow someone in the country because they might steal someone's job, they might uh they might commit crime and some of that. So I feel like that's where I would rather immigrate, or I would rather argue it through like economic policy rather than just moral axioms.
All right. So on your first point, like where you're saying that like things are gonna cost more, like
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is in the first place due to like globalization. Things are gonna be cheap either way due to the exploitation of world labor. Um, so I don't know how much immigration necessarily affects that. I think like it just lowers the wages of workers rather than lowering the cost of things. I'd have to see data on that. So like I just think the economic argument is a like wrong argument to go for in the first place, because I don't think most of the data actually supports that. That like things are going to get much cheaper, or like mostly the data I see with immigration being good for the economy is it being good for the GDP. And just because the GDP is high, sure, that means like the standard of living is going to be high, but you would have to be able to quantify that the standard of living would be much lower and the GDP would be much lower without immigration for me to grant you the like the basis or the backing of the economic argument in the first place. And at the point where the economic argument is just like there's not really a backing for it, like with data, I think that the best way to go through is making the moral arguments that are like axiomatic, sure, but again, at the point where there's not really the backing for the immigration argument, it seems like the moral argument is the only route to go, especially with the fear mongering or the widespread fear of immigrants stealing jobs and lowering the wages in the first place. It's like I think you should rebuke those points, but I think that like they should be like solely defensive arguments on that front, like not the like the what would it be, the like your main focus, you know, just rebuke those, be like, no, immigrants wouldn't steal your jobs, wages wouldn't really decrease, and even if wages do decrease, it's not the immigrants' fault, it's the ruling class's fault for lowering wages in order to make more profit. And then just hit them with the real kicker, making the moral arguments as the main persuasion.
Okay. I guess for an example that I would use is like a place like New York, for example. Before it had like I guess the immigration policy it has now, it wasn't as like economics like stable, and now I feel like after years of immigration to that region, it seems like the economic opportunity there has improved a lot. Right?
Sorry, can you repeat your repeat what you said, or re-articulate?
It seems it seems that places that allow for more immigration through time, it seems like the economic prosperity in that area seems to increase. I mean, think about in countries that don't really allow for immigration, like Japan, for example. And here in America, where we do, I would say America has a much better economic prosperity than Japan does.
I don't know if you could attribute that to immigration necessarily. Like Japan is just like much smaller and probably has much less imports and exports compared to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably have to see data that would back that in order to be for it, like to say that should be the main kicker as the argument for immigration.
Right. And again, I'm in favor of immigration, not just based on economics, but I'm also based on like I guess somewhat morally, because yes, since I am a leftist, I have to agree that freedom of movement is something good, but also just to back up those points, it's like if I'm trying to convince somebody this is a good thing, just using moral arguments like oh, it's morally right isn't enough. I think it's better. I think that's why I would rather use like an economic argument, because I can use data, and I can use what's the word, other stats to show them how immigration benefits the country and economy, rather than just saying, you know, I'm for this because of my own personal axioms or beliefs, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily disagree on the front, like where we need both. Yeah. It's just a question of which one is more important. And on your point about like the data, it's just like from most of what I've seen is that data points to immigration overwhelmingly hurting, like, or not overwhelmingly, but like the data that does exist overwhelmingly points to the fact that immigration hurts the working class, and then the benefits from immigration seem to be mostly predominantly for the ruling class. Since they get to pay less for labor, they get to have more profit. And since the wages are lower, that cuts other workers' wages as well. So, like,
in what industries, if I may ask?
What? Yeah, what's up?
In what industries do they cut wages?
Yeah, so not necessarily like high skilled labor, but for the most part, it's low skilled labor. So like the sorry, I'm having a blank right now. What? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. What would these jobs be referred to as? Like jobs that wouldn't necessarily need higher education. Yeah.
Like McDonald's and stuff like that?
Yes, like the already low wage workers.
Okay. I think I hold up. Let me check my sources real quick, if I may.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, give me one sec. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Abstract. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, this is from the Ultimate Research document, by the way. It seems that wages dropped 2% in the short term, but they alleviated to 1.1% over time.
So so you have data that shows that wages dropped 2% in short term, but they raised 1% over time.
Yeah.
Can you send me that
link?
link?
Sure, no problem.
And does the data show that was due to immigration or
the data itself?
Yeah, like does it say that was due to immigration, or does it just say that happened over time?
Oh no, it says okay. So essentially, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Blah, blah. Okay, so yes, since the low skill workers who are immigrants come to the country, it does say that the wages do drop. However, over time, it seems like the wages go back up, or if not, increase.
Okay. Where at can I see that in here?
Let me see this. Where is the actual quote itself? It's a long ass document. Give me one sec.
Yeah, it looks like they used a lot of formulas too. I don't
and unfortunately, I'm not a sociologist. We're a bunch of Zoomers here, so.
Let's see.
Wages.
I'm just trying to skim this real quick.
Right. No problem. How's it? Jesus Christ.
Also, like, just another argument. Like, I don't know. Like, engaging in, like, the capitalist, like, framework arguments, like, kind of, I don't know. To me, it seems like to re-entrench, like, a lot of dogma in which that, you might be trying to pull people over. They might not be as receptive to the moral arguments anymore if you just try to make everything about the economic arguments. And since there's, like, there's evidence to go both ways on the economic arguments, people will find their way to just either side if we do solely that. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and I agree, but I think most economists would agree that immigration is a net positive to the economy. Than like because we kind of do live in a globalized society, so it's probably better to work within that globalist system than to be more isolationist. You know what I mean? Because if we have an isolationist policy, even if it just comes to tariffs or immigration, it's very likely that our economy, our wages will drop and will not be able to sustain with the rest of the global economy.
Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to read.
What the hell is the rest? God damn it! Is it long as shit?
Yeah, no. I also don't like. It doesn't seem very cut and dry.
I read this over like a period of 3 days. It took a long time.
Oh yeah, understandable. It's
fucking Bosch. Yeah.
You know, I doubt Vosh has read this shit. I doubt Vosh has read this shit. Here,
to be honest, you know what? I would not be surprised. I mean, who likes reading? I mean, come on. I mean, we're fucking Zoomers. Who the fuck reads now?
You got a point. I don't want to fucking read this.
Yeah. But since we do live in a capitalist like world,
Hold on, I think I'm in the conclusion. These average gains are in the short and long run distributed as okay, so okay, so the conclusion says that here, I'll start here. It says the group suffering the biggest loss in wages is the contingent of previous immigrants who compete with new immigrants for similar jobs and occupations. Finally, our model implies that it is hard to claim that immigration has been a significant determinant in the deterioration of the wage distribution of U.S.-born workers during the period 1990 to 2004. So it says that, so basically, it's saying that there is a wage drop for previous immigrants between the new immigrants and the previous immigrants because they're competition with each other. However, it says that you can't attribute the wage loss of native born U.S. people to immigration.
Right.
So I mean, like, this doesn't necessarily, I feel like, make the point that you're trying to make it, because I don't see in the conclusion where it says that there was a raise. It might, but I'm just skimming it. It just seems to be saying that the deterioration isn't due to immigrants, but it does concede the fact that there is a wage loss for previous immigrants who came to the U.S. based off of this data.
Right. Right. But even then, it does show how, I guess, the economy benefits from that, because with immigration, and I guess the majority of low skill immigrants are probably also not documented. They don't pay like what's the word? Fuck. They add to the economy with their labor, but also they have to pay some taxes. Not all of them, and I would rather they pay all of them. So that's why I'm in favor of like giving them green cards, or at least like some sort of pathway to citizenship. From what I see here is that it seems to help the economy more than it hurts it, and the only people getting hurt from I guess new immigration are just the previous immigrants. So I don't really see what would hurt the
economy. Yeah, I mean, most of my arguments aren't necessarily based around the economy and how the general U.S. economy is doing, because again, like most metrics that evaluate that are metrics like that. If they're high, that means that the ruling class is mostly benefiting rather than the working class. So I think that wages is probably a better metric if we want to look into the lives of like actual like daily people, your daily working class person.
Oh yeah, and I completely agree. I think what we have is, like fundamentally is a distribution problem.
Sorry, you cut out.
I'm sorry. I think what we have fundamentally is a distribution problem, not so much economic problem, because we do have the resources to provide people with comfortable lifestyles. Just that the problem is there's people at the top who are taking like 90% of the earnings.
Yeah, I get your point, but like the thing is, if you engage with a right winger with that argument and concede that there is wage loss for anyone a part of the working class, and that you're like, but it benefits the overall economy, they're gonna call you a hypocrite and exploit that for the entire rest of the debate on how you're fine with the exploitation or the loss of a few in order for it to benefit the many, right?
Right.
So that might make you seem disingenuous about your leftist positions and might be like overall like less attractive to the average person.
Yeah, I guess I could say that. Yeah, I. However, I guess I'm not really like I'm still a market socialist. So even in my kind of, I guess, framework, within my framework, I still believe in markets. So I don't really know any other way to like, because personally I'm not a big fan of like planned economies. I think they're kind of
Yeah, I agree.
poo-poo, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
so
like planned economies either.
yeah, but at the same time, is like, okay, so you have your moral argument, right? Like, you believe it's morally that immigration is allowed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you argue like with that to like a right winger, right? Who says like, oh well, if you let in immigrants, then they're just gonna steal, money from us and just take it back to their home country.
Um. Well, it really depends on the right winger, because if it's a libertarian, then you just point out how they're being contradictory if they are against immigration. If it's against, like, I don't know, like a typical like tradcon, there'd probably not be much getting through to them either way, honestly, with the economic
Yeah,
or moral argument. But you should try to make the moral argument and just say, well, hey, this is kind of fucked up.
yeah,
That, yeah, it's just kind of fucked up if that, like, we aren't letting people in based off the random dice roll that brought them into this world. They should have the freedom to move if they want to. I don't know, probably just preach to them. That's like US type shit. That's democratic type shit.
right,
Is if someone wants to fucking move or leave from their country, they have the absolute freedom to, because America, democratic values,
right.
yeehaw. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I completely.
tradcons, neocons, therefore
Uh,
fucking spreading U.S. values. So I don't know.
right. She said that the thing is, whenever I argue with right wingers, and unfortunately most of them tend to be like, Nazis, uh,
Fair.
they like, yeah, they like explain to me how, oh shit, you shouldn't be having immigrants here because of this reason and that reason. Okay, so whenever I challenge it morally, even though they are wrong, like,
Yeah.
I can't really tell them, like, I can't force them to justify their position because, one, axioms by their definition, you can't really justify them. Like,
I mean,
they're
if you want to, you could get into the whole philosophical and moral debate. You could ask them what moral theory they're using to justify it, and get into all that shit, and then prove them wrong based on their moral theory. And I
yeah,
guarantee they don't have a moral theory that they use to justify their claims.
oh yeah, they don't. But the thing is that I noticed that when I mentioned to them, like, hey, without immigrants, our economy would be worse and things would probably cost more, and they're like, well, that's not true. But then I show them like data that shows how, like, our economy has improved over the years with immigration and also our trade policy. They tend to back off that point, like, okay, fine, so maybe some immigration is fine, but still, they have this moral framework where they still don't want them. But however, to an audience or to anyone, they can see how, like, they're denying like obvious facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, what are some moral arguments that right wingers have made for you that are like against immigration?
Okay. Let's see. Immigration should not be allowed because a certain people have already settled in an area,
Okay, well
and
then
it would,
you then you ask them why the U.S. or why white people in general should be here on U.S. land.
they've literally just told me that, well, it's our divine right. That's what they told me.
Then ask them why is it our divine right when indigenous people were here first?
Right.
Like, I mean, their argument. I mean, that's just that argument has blatant hypocrisy. If they're going to say that there's certain
Yeah.
people settled on the land, it's like, yeah, there's certain people settled on the land before us, but that didn't stop us. And we were very much more violent in getting this land than immigrants coming here. Immigrants do so through a democratic process or
Right.
whatever.
And the one thing I try to explain that, like, I guess there's a weird thing where they try. Hold up, let me try to think what I'm trying to say. Oh yeah. So a lot of right wingers that I've met have told me that whenever an immigrant is allowed to the country, it's almost like uh, a war, in the sense that they are competing with the rest of the country or the rest of the workers. However, they have an advantage because since they are, I guess, immigrants, they will take less pay because to them that's an increase of what they originally were making in their home countries. So
Yeah.
usually,
Um.
yeah,
Yeah. If you mind. me jumping in there. Yeah, just
Right.
tell them that they're
Right.
assigning the negative moral value on the wrong people, right? It's not the immigrants' fault that they're coming here and working for lower wages, which cuts the other workers' wages. Like, the immigrants don't choose that, right? Like, who choose to cut
Right.
the wages? Just point that out to them. That they're assigning the negative moral value on the wrong person or the wrong people in general.
Right.
Like, I feel like the moral arguments are just much more easy to dispute and win comparatively to the economic arguments where there's data on like both sides.
I mean, I agree it's easier, but I think with the economic argument, I can probably it's easier to back up. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I can't really justify an axiom. I can only explain why I think it's right. You know, it's like
Yeah, I mean,
like
even if that's the case, though, you can just like point out the contradictory or contradictions of their axioms or
yeah,
whatever they're saying is why it's immoral.
yeah, because we do live in a capitalist society at the moment. We probably should be as to maximize our economic benefits. It would make more sense to allow immigration into the country, something like that, because of economic benefits, economic booms, economic opportunities for them. Also, the economic output that they put into the economy is much greater than what they're taking.
Yeah, I mean, again, like on that front, like
Yeah.
I just don't know how true it is because, as I've seen, there's data on both sides, and obviously, data can be skewed to represent whatever narrative each side is trying to sell. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
how
but the
true.
thing is that what I've noticed though is that a lot of right wingers, when they try to disprove how immigration can help the economy, they cite one economist. His name is fucking like Borjas, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's the one that what's his name, Nick Fuenterino cites all the time.
yeah, it doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of
Yeah, so George Borjas is an economist, and he has explained in some of his I guess books about immigration and economics how it can lower some forms of living standards in the country. However, even he has admitted at one point that immigration is a net benefit to the country. So, I guess
I was about to say, well, yeah. I mean that's interesting. I mean that's surprising. I think that most economists on the subject on this subject, I think they're mostly in agreement when it comes to like economic gains overall for the country, like when it comes to the GDP, right?
Yeah.
But like the biggest dispute seems to be over wages, right? So if you like,
Yeah.
Again, for the reasons that I've gone over before, I think the wages is probably like the biggest argument that you need to win, especially as a leftist. Because if you don't win it, like right wingers will just point out how that contradicts your entire like beliefs, because you're fine with like a small amount of people getting lower wages just to benefit like others, right? So like I mean, if you find me evidence on that specifically about how there's a wage raise, or is better for like low skill / low waged people in general, then I could see why you might prefer the economic arguments over the moral arguments.
Yeah. Also, not just that, but I've noticed that in some industries, they only have to like abide by federal minimum wage, like in what is it? Like being a waiter, for example, right? Legally, restaurant owners do not have to pay waiters like federal minimum wage because they're expected to be make of tips.
That's a little okay. So that's the waiters have to make at least minimum wage though. So if they don't make that through tips, then the company or business has to make up for that. They have to fill in that gap. Pretty sure in every state, right? So every worker has to make at least minimum wage, whether it's via tips or not. That doesn't like. If they make enough through tips, then the business doesn't have to fill in, obviously, because they made
Right.
the minimum wage. But if they don't, then it has to be filled in. But tipping
Yeah.
is a shit system in general. So
Yes, I completely agree. Fuck tipping.
yeah, I mean, you're putting the onus on other working class members to pay for your workers' labor. Like,
Exactly.
fuck off.
Not just that, but also that like literally the federal minimum wage is way too low in the first place as well.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, tipping. That's a good thing about tipping, though, is that tipping does usually like you can make a shit ton of money through tipping. Like compared to like what you would make if you were a minimum wage worker, like you can make a shit ton of money comparatively.
that is true, but I
yeah,
guess you would
again,
have to be exploited more.
Yeah, you put the onus on other working class members, so it's fucked.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. Let's see. Yeah. At least when my mother was a waitress a long time ago, she wasn't paid minimum wage at all. Even
Wait, she
if she
wasn't.
didn't.
They weren't filling. They didn't fill in the gaps.
No,
I'm pretty sure
this is
that's
back like in
illegal.
the '80s, so
I'm pretty sure that's
this is back
illegal.
in the '80s, and I'm not sure what the law was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either. That's way past my time.
It's just capitalism, you know. That's how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah. Understanding. Well, I mean, I guess. Do you want it there? I think I don't think we're like in big disagreement. I think we both.
No.
Yeah.
Of course not. I think we agree on most of the stuff that we argue about.
Yeah, I think that we're both in agreement. Both should be made. It's just a question of which is more important. And
right.
Yeah. So if you have anything you want to say before I get into reacting to some things that people sent, go ahead.
Trans rights.
Indeed. All right.
All right. Thanks, Lemon.
Yep, no problem. If y'all want to go check out Vira's channel, link is in the description. They're a leftist who games, is going to do a lot of gaming, so if you want to go subscribe to him, link in description. All right, now we're going to do some reactions. Let's go look. Do I go in suggestions or media? I don't know where most people sent stuff. What about cultural arguments? No, we didn't really talk about cultural arguments. I mean, the cultural arguments on the fucking right are just shit. So, honestly, you should be able to take those out pretty easily. I don't think that those should be your utmost priority, though, when trying to persuade people. Do you want to watch this Drake video? This first Drake video? Ugh. Most of your suggestions are copyrighted. Did I watch the Hassan Destiny debate? Yes. Pump, can you tell me which ones are copyrighted and which ones aren't? Oh, okay. Yeah. I won't watch the Who is America stuff. I've already seen them, by the way. They're all really good. Very funny.
Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by Rumble. Rumble is
You may know me only as James Rick Evan Gordon, the mayor of this fair town.
Hold on. We're gonna watch this Drake video. Yeah, Destiny sucks. Then after the Drake video, I'll watch the Shahid Buttar for Congress video. Then the Antifa are the real fascist video, probably.
But I'm also a proud...
Oh. Hold on. Let me put this on screen.
Hello. You may know me only as James Rick Evan Gordon, the mayor of this fair town, but I'm also a proud patriot and lover of all things gun. That's why passing this gun ban law, in which everybody in this
Lover of all things gun?
town gives me all their guns, was so painful for me. I know firsthand how much people love their guns. I know how much resistance there was to this gun ban. Now, there's been a lot of speculation as to why I confiscated all of your guns. Is some kind of totalitarian regime about to take place? Do I believe that less guns will make our city safer? No. I simply wanted all of the guns. Maybe.
What? What? This is how we're gonna get Republicans behind gun control. We're gonna be like, hey, we know you love guns and all that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna confiscate all of the Americans' guns, and then us, the Democratic and Republican Party, are just gonna go out and we can go shit. What's it called? I mean, we can go out hunting, we can go at a shooting range, we can really do like whatever, you know. I'm not for gun control for the most part, but yeah, big meme. This is in reference to Beto O'Rourke. I have no clue what Beto O'Rourke. Oh, okay.
You didn't hear me earlier. I really like guns. Holy shit. Have you ever fired a gun? Dude, I would fire guns all day if I didn't have this dumbass politician job. But the numbers don't lie. Before this gun law was passed, I had a critically low number of guns. Now, as you can see, I have all the guns. Let me describe my morning to you. I'd wake up, fire a few shots in the air, roll out of bed, fall into a pool of 50 cal, and then just start swimming. This is also about safety. My safety. I don't feel safe unless I have all your guns. I mean, what's a burglar gonna do if he breaks into my house? Attack me with a knife? I'd like to see him try. No, seriously, I would like to see him try. I have a lot of guns, and I'm looking for an excuse to use them. Let me be crystal clear. I am not going to install a tyrannical government. I don't give a fuck about any of you. I literally just wanted all of your guns. I don't care if this curbs violence or not. I just wanted all your guns. I will now be taking questions. Mr. Mayor over here? Yes, you? Will this law make our children safer? Nah, please. I haven't been to school since the 7th grade. Your kids have nothing to worry about. My kids, on the other hand...
Oh, okay, I see what he's saying, because he's not gonna go to the school. Okay. If you get it, you get it.
Services is a little bit concerned for, but what are they gonna do? Take them away? I'd like to see them try. Seriously, I would like to see them try. Mr. Mayor, what about the black market for guns? The good news is that I used your tax money to buy all the black market guns. The bad news is we no longer have health care. The good news is that I'm getting a second swimming pool filled with guns. Mr. Mayor, you are aware that this policy is extremely unpopular, right? As we speak, a mob of violent townsfolk are marching towards your house. Really? Nancy, cancel my afternoon meetings. This is gonna be fun.
Oh my god.
Hello. I am making this announcement to address the recent gun ban I have passed. Look, everything is fine. There is absolutely no reason that anyone in this fair country of ours should have to own a gun. Unless something goes wrong. But nothing will go wrong. But if something did go wrong, then yes,
yeah,
it would
I'll watch this Antifa one too. I'm just watching this one. This one's funny.
Makes sense that you would want to own a gun. But nothing is going to go wrong. And if we were going to slip into some kind of totalitarian state, then maybe you would want a gun. But that's not going to happen.
Monopoly on violence, baby.
Will be fine. I love kulaks. I mean, realistically, your little pea shooter is not going to do much against our tanks anyway. Hi, excuse me.
Not even a monopoly on violence,
so fine,
but a monopoly on all means of violence.
Why did you invest all our tax money in autonomous tanks?
What's the sponsorship? Okay.
Get me out of here.
I was about to not watch
Today's
it.
video is sponsored by Rumble. Rumble is this cool new app that lets you make content with just your phone. With Rumble, you can find all these different channels made by different people, and you can also make your own channel with your own stories. But unlike YouTube, it really thrives off of shorter videos. It also, instead of a comment section, has video responses. It kind of reminds me of back in the day when you would see replies to certain videos from other people. Same thing in Rumble. This also makes it a lot more of a positive conversation because people can't hide their face behind anonymity. And yeah, once you reach 21 videos on your channel, people can actually start paying you to see more of what you do. So become a Rumbler today. Download Rumble by clicking the link in the description and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be making 2 videos every single day for a full
Every day? For a week.
I'm going to be making 3 videos a day
3?
for a full week. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and keep up with what I do.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna get Republicans behind gun control. We tell them, hey. Listen here. We know how much y'all love guns. Elected Republicans, by the way. We know how much y'all love guns. So, you have an idea. We're gonna take the guns away from the people, because we honestly we don't like really care about the fucking people. Like, this isn't to save the people, by the way. It's not to prevent any harm or violence. This is just because we know y'all love guns so much. We're gonna equally distribute them among y'all, kind of like communism among the elected Republican officials, but only guns. And we're gonna use that to compromise on things like Medicare for all and shit. Like, if we do this, we'll be able to get them to back our bills. That's the only way. All right, we're gonna watch this. Shahid Buttar video.
Pelosi faces a challenger of her own.
Shahid Buttar announced his plans to unseat the California Congresswoman. He plans to challenge Pelosi.
A constitutional attorney who works at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, a grassroots activist, an artist, and candidate challenging Nancy Pelosi in the Democratic primary, Shahid Buttar.
Not only does he support Medicare for all, but he also wants to cut military spending.
With the congressional candidate trying to end the way too long rule of corporate queen Nancy Pelosi.
I'm not a big fan of Medicare for all.
And she's not representing us. She's not.
She's like literally. How low is her approval rating? She is like one of the most hated politicians out there. Sorry, I had to burp.
Representing her interests.
She needs to retire. She does.
If Hillary Clinton had won, I was ready to go home.
She's out of touch with what's really happening.
Shahid is authentic, and he cares about people.
Wait, what happened? Oh god, dude, holy.
He will stand up against police brutality.
And his fusion of a socialist commitment to justice for everybody is exactly the synthesis that we need right now.
He's tireless, brilliant, fearless, and watch out. He's gonna surprise a lot of people in this race.
He understands average, everyday people.
The most effective way.
Yeah, it has under 3K views. I don't think he's very well known, honestly. I don't think he's gonna beat Pelosi. When is that race even? Doesn't say. I'm not sure.
We need change in 2020.
So just so everybody understands, we're not just taking on the Republican Party in Washington, D.C. and the establishment Republicans. We're also taking on the establishment Democrats. And I'm not playing about this. We're going to fight.
He cares about taking care of everybody, making everybody equal.
An end of the surveillance state, an end of military spending.
Puck Pelosi, as Vira said it best.
We need a representative that really represents San Francisco's values.
When is this race even? Do it. I mean, even if he won, he wouldn't be the head or whatever it's called. However, it would be good because we'd get rid of Pelosi, but then when we still have Schumer, and Schumer's also very shit.
You know what to do, compatriot. Let him have it. Please, no. I have a white wife and kids.
Whoa.
So, how goes the progress? Excellent. The new concentration camps can fit so many fascists. You hypocrites. I always knew you anarchists would turn authoritarian the first chance you got. Those concentration camps were built communally and through voluntary service. You know, you're doing a good job here. Not that I have the authority to tell you how good of a job you're doing or what a good job entails. Of course, we're all equally important and good members of this society. However, I am going to ask that you mutually aid me in giving me your bat. Because I have a pit stop I gotta make. No, please. I love minorities. I swear. Diversity is our strength. Daddy, what's gonna happen to us? Nothing's wrong, son. Just keep praying to Hitler.
Oh my god, holy shit.
Oh, hello. You're just in time for some gluten-free bread. No. That's not why I'm here. Oh, no? How about some
gluten-free bread.
Burn a flag?
Soy milk.
I'm not here for gluten-free bread or a flag burning today. Please, we're just a simple family. All we want to do is establish a homeland for our people, and I'm sorry it has to be like this. As the supreme leader for life of Antifa,
I'm not sorry. Oop, didn't mean to say that. And a video game.
Decided is a fascist is now being tortured in our stateless gulags. All white people have been banished to live in a far-off island. For some reason, the ethno-nationalists are happy about that one. I don't know why. Hail anarchy! And finally, everyone will refer to everybody else as whatever pronouns they identify as in that millisecond. Hail anarchy! What if we start bartering for goods and services again? What's a dissenter? Get him! Stop this madness. Wow. This revolution didn't go anywhere near as well as I thought it would. Get him! Get him! It's actually they, them. What? You said get him. But actually, I'd prefer to be referred to as they, them. I didn't, I'm so sorry, I didn't. You can't kill me. I'm the democratically elected CEO of Antifa.
The democratically elected CEO of Antifa. Okay, I'm back. Did anyone hear what I just said? Basically, what I just said is that Antifa is a response to fascism. It's not a group like many people think. There's not like Antifa clubs in every state. There's not Antifa clubs in every state with a democratically elected Antifa leader. It's an action against fascist, being anti-fascist, being opposed to them. That would be kind of cool if we could have a fucking Antifa club in every state, but then it'd no longer be really Antifa, because most people who are Antifa are anarchist, and them having like a club and having a hierarchy would be kind of weird. I don't know. Is this it? Is it? Okay, well, that's it. What's the next video? I don't want to watch this. Is it the Discord app? Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. What's this one?
Hello, and welcome back to Leftist Infighting, the biggest.
Okay, we're gonna watch this one.
Hey guys, I didn't want to have to make this video, but recently something has been going on in my community that I'd just like to address. Recently, there's been an influx of comments and commentary that have been objectifying and sexualizing me as a person. Fan art depicting my characters, which is essentially me and myself in erotic situations, have been drawn, and honestly, it's getting to the point where I've become uncomfortable. I'm not sure how much you know about me as a person, but I'm a fairly conservative, fairly moderate human being. I don't
feel comfortable being objectified.
You are not
sexualized,
conservative, moderate
being
human
taken
being.
in that context at all. It may not feel creepy sexualizing me because you may feel like you know me, or you may feel like it's different because I'm a guy. But it's time to drop the double standard. While of course I love fan art and fan creations of all kind, the not safe for work stuff has really been getting to me recently, and I've just got to say, cut it out, guys. While of course I love fan art and fan fiction about my work and about my characters, there is something deeply unsettling about seeing them in sexualized situations that I never intended for them to be. It's also disheartening working really hard on a script that I think is funny and then having everybody just comment about the size of my bulge, which to be fair is sizable. I'm here to make real art that gets people thinking, not petty art that just fuels my ego. And as
Okay, we're back.
a result, I ask, please.
What the hell?
Stop sexualizing me. I am genuinely uncomfortable
What the
with
fuck?
my fans treating me like this. Nobody wants to see
I
that
don't want to watch
disgusting
this.
fan art. Nobody wants to watch such degeneracy happen. People need to know that sexualizing YouTubers is not okay. Nobody wants to see me in a sexual light, so stop giving people who are making me uncomfortable more fuel
Is that
for these
honey?
sick fetishes. The people who drew that shit need to be locked away. These people are simply put degenerate. And don't even get me started on the fan fiction. So please, for the sake of
I'm so
everybody in my
envious.
community, for the sake of my own mental health, please stop sexualizing me.
Oh my god. I mean, that's an understandable request. A fair request. Let's watch this one now.
But definitely not the only show where leftists bicker about dumb shit instead of...
Your stream got interrupted? Yeah, no, I had to pause. I had to mute my mic and pause real quick because... reasons.
Most left, but you can just call me...
Someone walked in the room.
Today on the show, we have the ideology that advocates for a strong state destroying capitalism and banding people together through collective means in order to effect leftist change. Authoritarian left. Actually, I prefer statist left. Is better PR. Alright, it's a meaningless label, no one gives a shit. And the ideology that advocates for change happening on the level of the individual, the anti-statist libertarian left. Actually, I'd prefer if you called me Noam Chomsky 2.0. No. Today on the show, we'll be discussing how all of us can put aside our differences and work on a unified agenda together. The topic is censorship. Should we be allowing large media corporations to censor our political enemies? Banning the far right.
Whoopsie. My stance on this is interesting.
An excellent move. We cannot tolerate intolerance. There can be no future where we coexist with the far right. Unless it furthers our regime, in which case we will definitely coexist with the far right. Listen, nobody hates far-right authoritarians more than me. But we shouldn't be giving the massive media corporations an excuse to tighten their grips around the throats of the individual. You think they won't start censoring us after we start saying things they don't like? These people do not have our best interests at heart. So what, you want to just let them run around and spread their message? I'm saying the burden falls upon people like us to call this shit out and steer people away from it, not from the state or the corporations doing it for us. This is very unrealistic. Individuals on the left cannot destroy collectives on the right. It is the institution that hosts the far right. So it should be the institution that gets rid of the far right, and the right, and the liberals, and the moderate left. You really think a massive corporation is gonna let you stay on their platform? Half of everything you say is just, let's kill rich people. The communists are hungry. And it's not like you're any better. All you do is complain and criticize. You offer nothing constructive to say. If you were in charge, the right would win. What if somebody finds these videos you don't want to censor and becomes radicalized to the rights because of it?
If somebody sees a video and all of a sudden decides to become racist, newsflash, that person was already racist, and now we know and can fight against them.
That's not necessarily true. No, that's not necessarily true.
Just let the alt-right run around and radicalize people and do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I have videos defending the anarchist position on this.
I am all for shutting bigots up. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to give that power to a massive fucking corporation who's gonna use it to silence us.
The thing is, the flaw with the anarchist argument, though, is that the massive corporation already has that power, and they're going to use it regardless. They're going to use it against left-wingers, and they already have been using it against left-wingers.
You are a drug-addled utopian who thinks
Might as well have them use it against right-wingers, too. But in an ideal world... in an ideal world where somehow there's still corporations that exist, then no censorship.
Everybody can just get along, and you're a dictator with a power fetish looking for an excuse to tyrannize.
Now hold on, guys, hold on. All this sounds like a lot of high-minded political theory. We're never gonna get anywhere if we keep arguing like this. Who cares what a perfect leftist utopia should look like? We're never gonna get there if we keep arguing amongst
They're both gonna grow his ass.
Our real enemies. Why don't we organize? Why don't we do some real leftist change instead of just pretending to be leftists by reading all these books and talking about theory? We all want the same things. Why are we getting caught up in all these little details that separate us? If we're looking to bring understanding and harmony to the world, why don't we start with ourselves?
Are you trying to gain the moral high ground on us by dismissing all of our ideological differences without engaging in them? You know, it doesn't help our cause at all to dismiss every single one of our nuances for some abstract concept of unity.
We are not children. We are capable of agreeing in some areas and disagreeing in others. We're not going to put aside all of our differences just for unity. What does that even mean?
The ideas that make me a leftist are the same ideas that prevent me from agreeing with the statist on everything, but that doesn't mean that we're not capable of working together when it benefits us both.
Also, look, I find a tweet from Post-Left circa 2012. He says, communism is gay.
Gay? You're cancelled!
You're no comrade of mine. Off to Gulag with you. Let's check in with rightist infighting. I hate libtards. I hate libtards. I hate libtards. We hate libtards.
He's got a point. That is there's the only infighting on the right is between Nazis and the rest of the right. And they all fall in line, though, whenever it comes to elections or anything. But all Nazis are like, nah, you don't go far enough, or your fucking ideology is contradictory for stopping here. Why doesn't it go farther? Blah. Alright, what else do we have? Anything? How long is this? It's too long. I'll watch that on my own time. Hold on, let's... Oh, by the way, everyone, in the stream, all of my media is down in the description. My Twitter, my Discord server, my Reddit, or subreddit, Patreon, Twitch, all of that. If you want to go check out any of those, go check the link in the description. I don't even know what to say about this. Yeah, wait, hold on, let me check. Okay, I'll show this, I guess. Satire, by the way. It's not even a fucking funny meme. It's just not funny. Like, dude, you look like a dork. Like, if this is you, if this is what you look like going to the Pride Parade, dude, you look like a fucking dork. Like, shit, you get your ass beat. Like, fuck, even if you have the gun, dude, you're gonna get your fucking ass beat for just looking like such a fucking dork. Yeah, you pull up to a Pride Parade that I'm in, dressed like that. Oh, with that AR, right, you're getting your ass beat. Doesn't even matter that you have the AR. Like, if you, do I think Chank will win his district? No. But I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about it, but no, I doubt it. Maybe you will though. I'm not sure. I'm contemplating whether or not I show the Who's America things because I know they're copyrighted, but I don't know if I'll get a copyright strike. Oh, you posted that? You're famous now? Yeah, you got like 8.5K. I'm contemplating whether or not. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up this tweet. Alright, let's see. President Warren is trending because despite her being third in delegates, third in most national polls, and second in endorsements, the media acts as if she doesn't exist. So her supporters are dealing with this blackout by making sure voters know she's still here and still kicking ass. No, she isn't. Elizabeth Warren is doing shit. Right. Also, I don't even know, is she even third in most national polls? I thought it was still Joe Biden. Like, who gives a fuck? Warren and fucking Biden are doing shit. They don't deserve coverage. The only people who deserve coverage is Bernie and Buttigieg because they're the front runners. So, yeah. Why the fuck would the media act like she fucking exists? Also, where were you when the media continues to act like fucking Bernie Sanders does not exist? The fuck? No, this is what? What? Do you have a? This person has such a misunderstanding. None of them are. Nowhere is it ever Sanders leads the pack. It's usually like Buttigieg got second, blah blah blah, whatever. Klobuchar, whatever. Klobuchar fucking surged, blah, and got third, whatever, blah 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 blah. Sanders was in top 3. Like, never does it begin with Sanders and talk about how Sanders is in first place. Those are the typical Warren supporters for you. They're always like, whine, blah, blah, blah. They always want to whine and cry about whatever happens to fucking Warren, but they won't ever extend that shit to fucking Bernie. In spirit of his banning, we should watch this. What's this? Oh, fuck no. I'm not gonna watch this fucking thing about... No. I do not want to watch a video about Nick Quintus, trust me. Especially about his date with the cat boy. How long is this?
Vous demandez la définition de l'homme.
Okay, it's 6 minutes about, so yeah, might as well.
L'optique de l'existentialisme, ce serait vous demander, je crois, de résumer beaucoup de grands livres philosophiques.
Oui, je crois que c'est à peu près impossible.
Mais il y a peut-être moyen, je crois, de vaincre la difficulté.
Oh wait, hold on, it's French, so I'm actually gonna, I can't just listen along. Sorry, I'm gonna read the comments real quick. Anyone who watches MSNBC or CNN knows Sanders is never mentioned. True, but why waste your time watching CNN or MSNBC because they're both toxic? I only ever, well, sometimes I watch them anyways. Usually I only watch them for the Democratic debates, though. You should do a Gamer Rise Up review stream sometime. I don't even know what that is, but I'll consider it.
Demander la définition de l'homme dans l'optique de l'existentialisme, ce serait vous demander, je crois, de résumer beaucoup de grands livres philosophiques.
Oui, je crois que c'est à peu près impossible.
Mais il y a peut-être moyen, je crois, de vaincre la difficulté en abordant le problème de l'existence de l'homme par différents aspects d'ordre moins général, comme par exemple, quelles sont les valeurs que vous reconnaissez à l'homme?
L'homme lui-même. Nous pensons, et ça c'est un des points les plus importants de l'existentialisme, que l'homme est finalement la raison d'être de l'homme, son avenir et la fin même de toutes ses activités. C'est-à-dire que nous trouvons bien tout ce qui sert aux intérêts, au bonheur et au développement de l'homme, et mauvais tout ce qui va contre. Et c'est là la base absolument fondamentale de ce qu'on peut appeler notre éthique, enfin, ou même notre morale.
Et alors, il est à la fois sa cause et sa fin.
Sounds like this is boiling down into some utilitarian ethics.
Peut-être pas sa cause, mais certainement sa fin. Mettons sa raison d'être.
Alors, sa cause, quelle
sa
serait-elle?
cause, ça c'est une question métaphysique que je ne suis pas apte ici à résoudre. L'homme est là, et nous ne posons pas les questions métaphysiques, pas plus que bien les philosophes depuis Kant. Ils ont décidé de ne pas la poser. Nous sommes là, et ce qui nous intéresse, c'est de savoir que faire de nous.
Maintenant, dans la conception du monde de cet homme existentialiste, Dieu n'est pas présent.
Pas dans l'existentialisme sartrien, dans l'existentialisme de M. Gabriel Marcel, oui. Mais dans l'existentialisme de Sartre, tel qu'il est défini dans L'être et le néant, tel qu'il va l'être dans le prochain ouvrage que Sartre va donner incessamment chez Gallimard, qui s'appelle Critique de la raison dialectique, Dieu n'est pas présent. Il n'y a pas de Dieu. Nous sommes des athées, très exactement.
Alors, qu'est-ce qui fait que l'homme, quand même, accepte de vivre et accepte de poser des gestes? Qu'est-ce qui dirige ces gestes?
Qu'est-ce qui dirige ces gestes? Le souci précisément des autres hommes, en grande partie. Le souci aussi de son propre bonheur, les deux étant d'ailleurs liés d'une manière à peu près inextricable. Le souci aussi, qu'est-ce qui dirige ces gestes? Le souci
concern for others in large part.
Le souci aussi de son propre bonheur, les deux étant d'ailleurs liés d'une manière à peu près inextricable, parce que je crois que chacun est lié à tous et personne ne peut se réaliser sinon à travers, avec les autres. Et rien n'est fait de valable pour et par les autres, sinon à partir de quelque chose qu'on a également profondément ancré en soi-même.
Maintenant, de quelle façon le problème de Dieu s'est-il posé à vous? Parce que vous dites qu'à l'âge de 15 ans, il y a eu une crise qui a, une fois pour toutes, décidé...
Là non plus, ce n'est pas tout à fait exact. C'est pas une crise, c'est plutôt une espèce de prise de conscience. Je me suis aperçu un beau jour, à 14 ans, à 13 ans, je ne saurais pas vous dire la date exacte, je me suis aperçu un beau jour que je ne croyais plus, que c'était fini. J'avais cru d'une manière très très ardente quand j'étais toute petite. Je croyais aux anges, au petit Jésus, etc. Puis après, j'ai moins cru tout de même à toute cette mythologie plus extérieure. Mais enfin, j'ai cru vraiment à Dieu. Mais petit à petit, j'ai épuré Dieu tellement qu'il n'y avait plus aucun rapport avec ce monde. Parce que Dieu ne pouvait pas être bête comme toutes les personnes pieuses que je voyais ou comme les prêtres à qui je parlais. Il était différent. Il ne pouvait pas non plus s'intéresser à des vétilles. Il a fini par ne plus répondre à rien ni à personne. Et à ce moment-là, je me suis aperçu que bon, il n'existait plus pour moi finalement. Il s'était évaporé.
Et est-ce que, comme vous dites, c'était évaporé, mais est-ce que vous avez remis le problème en question plus tard?
Plus tard, j'ai fait de la philosophie et tout ce que j'ai appris m'a, je ne pourrais même pas dire confirmé, mais tout ce que j'ai appris continue à être dans la ligne que la question, en somme toute, ne se posait pas. Si vous voulez, par exemple, j'ai lu Kant quand j'avais 18 ans et j'ai tout de suite pensé avec Kant qu'il fallait en effet refuser la métaphysique proprement dite ou l'ontologie et se poser le problème à partir du fait que nous existons sur Terre sans chercher à percer par-delà la chaîne des causes et des effets.
Mais si je comprends bien, votre athéisme est...
It seems interesting that this person keeps referring to Kant because it seems that the ethics that they developed are rather utilitarianist.
D'abord venu par intuition chez vous.
Si vous voulez, je me suis aperçu que j'avais aucune raison de croire, et que les gens qui étaient autour de moi croyaient sans avoir des raisons non plus. C'est plutôt ça. Les uns croyaient sans avoir de raison de croire, et moi j'ai cessé de croire sans non plus avoir des raisons positives et établies de ne pas croire. Mais comment prouver que quelque chose n'existe pas? On ne peut jamais non plus en faire la preuve, c'est plutôt aux autres de faire la preuve du contraire, n'est-ce pas?
Mais enfin, oui, est-ce que la preuve...
Cette preuve, je ne l'ai jamais trouvée, ni dans ma raison, ni dans ma tête, ni dans mon cœur, donc...
La preuve de croire?
Oui, la preuve d'un Dieu.
Et la preuve du contraire, est-ce qu'elle existe?
Enfin, philosophiquement, oui, d'une certaine façon, parce que, par exemple, dans L'être et le néant, Sartre, à mon avis, montre très bien que cette espèce de synthèse qu'on appelle Dieu, qui serait à la fois, enfin là, nous allons entrer dans de la philosophie, pour soi en soi, est irréalisable et même réellement impensable. Enfin, ceci dit, un croyant pourra toujours dire que, précisément, on croit parce que c'est absurde et parce qu'on ne comprend rien. Mais alors, à ce moment-là, ça me semble un recours un peu désespéré.
Mais d'une façon générale, qu'est-ce que vous pensez des croyants?
Oh, je ne pense rien de façon générale. J'ai des opinions très particulières sur les uns et les autres, car ils sont aussi divers que les non-croyants. Il y a des prêtres progressistes avec qui je m'entends parfaitement, et il y a au contraire des athées, mettons qui sont précisément pour l'oppression et avec qui je ne m'entends pas du tout. Et il y a des croyants qui simplement font de la religion au contraire, alors à ce moment-là, une justification, mettons, du capitalisme ou du colonialisme avec qui je ne m'entends pas. Enfin, ça dépend. Vous savez que l'Église est très, très, très divisée. En particulier, même à l'intérieur de l'Église de France, il y a d'énormes différences. Vous avez des prêtres qui se battent avec le FLN, et vous en avez qui sont au contraire complètement pour les gros colons algériens.
Est-ce que ça ne prouve pas que dans le christianisme, il y a là aussi une liberté comme dans votre monde existentialiste?
Si, je crois tout à fait. Je crois que finalement, Dieu, c'est une espèce d'alibi qui n'en est pas un, et que des quantités de gens, d'ailleurs, des quantités de croyants me l'ont dit, je ne dirais même pas avoué, qu'on est aussi perdu dans un monde où il y a un Dieu, si vraiment on prend à cœur de savoir où est le bien et le mal, et quelles sont ses volontés, que dans un monde où il n'y en a pas. Parce que de toute façon, qui va interpréter la volonté de Dieu, qui va interpréter la manière dont la transcendance se traduit dans notre monde ici-bas, c'est chacun dans sa propre conscience. Et à ce moment-là, chaque conscience se retrouve aussi solitaire que la mienne qui ne croit pas en Dieu.
À moins de croire en la révélation. Ce que vous ne
Ah, mais
croyez
même si on croit en la révélation, même si on croit à la révélation, savoir si ce Dieu révélé, il souhaite qu'on continue à, je ne sais pas moi, à opprimer des Algériens et à faire mourir des gens de faim, et si c'est très bien, ou au contraire s'il trouve que c'est très mal, c'est à chacun de décider. Finalement, chacun interprète Dieu selon ses propres tendances. Ses propres tendances.
Okay. I mean, yeah, not much really have to say about that. Thought that was interesting. You know, I don't really read much existentialist, I don't think, honestly. So, yeah. Alright, watch this tweet. I don't know, look at it in a second.
Cohort of Black and Latino males aged, let's say, 16 to 25 that don't have jobs, don't have any prospects, don't know how to find jobs, don't know what their skill sets are, don't know how to behave in the workplace where they have to work collaboratively.
Yeah, the French language is beautiful. Holy shit, this is fucking... There's no way. Holy fuck. It doesn't surprise me, but there's no way that, how is corporate media behind this person? I find this hard to believe. I don't think, what? How the fuck is, there's no way. This poll must be very, I feel like it must be very inaccurate. There's no way Steyer's fucking leading. With Sanders all the way down here. I heard Sanders was pulling away in Nevada, I thought. I don't believe this. Hold on. What's the... I forget, is Nevada or South Carolina first, I think? I know it's on the 22nd, but I can't remember if it's Nevada or South Carolina. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. Here. If you look here, Real Clear Politics, average of polls so far. I guess they're excluding that one poll, but Bernie is ahead and Steyer's way back here, 4th. So yeah, that does not seem accurate. What's this video? Yeah, I used to know some French. Oh, I don't want to read this. This is 8 minutes, or not read, watch. It's 8 minutes. Sorry, Vira, I'm not gonna watch that one. 8 minutes, too much. Wait, the old pride flag was made by a TERF? I didn't know that. Interesting. Interesting. I'm confused. Cause yeah, this flag confuses me because it doesn't seem to refer to all members of the LGBTQ plus. But I do like the flag colors. But I think it could do a better job referring to all members. I'm conflicted on the Bernie or bust or vote blue, who. I would never vote for Bloomberg if I could. I would never vote for Biden if I could. I probably wouldn't vote for Buttigieg either. I would vote for Bernie and I would vote for Warren most likely. Maybe Steyer, not sure. I'm very conflicted on the Bernie or bust or vote blue no matter who, because I would not vote blue no matter who, and I can tell you that for certain. But I'm not sure if I'd Bernie or bust. Because I could probably tough it out and vote for Warren, but I don't know about beyond that. Warning for real women: make sure you check your date's femur length and anus hair, curliness, not just anus hair, but the curliness of the anus hair, in case they aren't real women like you. What? I can't tell if this is ironic or if they're being serious. It's just the Les flag. Oh, the Les. Oh, that makes so much more sense because I was so confused. I was like, why is it only referring to women or mostly and like not referring to like gay men at all, or like bi men, or just like in general, some people are in it. I can't tell. Is this ironic or is this serious? I don't know if I'd vote for Buttigieg. Buttigieg seems like I don't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't vote for Buttigieg. Like he just he's not good on issues at race at all. He's pretty fucking shit. And I think that's probably enough to disqualify him. Hold on. I'm gonna watch this Bloomberg thing. Bernie, respond. We need to unite to defeat Trump in November. This type of energy is not going to get us there. I think he's referring to this tweet.
Multi-billionaire candidate.
Hey, we don't have to watch it, but yeah, it's just a simple truth. Blah blah blah. Bloomberg rad, a lot of money. Blah blah blah. Will not beat Trump. Time's going way too quick. What the fuck? I can't read everything. I didn't read like anything. Wait, hold on. Are you being harassed by or a Bernie bot? Bernie's angry bros. Is Bernie Sanders' angry army really what Democrats want?
It is vitally important for those of us who hold different views to be able to engage discourse.
Yeah, and Bernie does. Go fuck yourself. Yes, really. Yeah, Bernie does. Bernie doesn't endorse any of that, so you can go fuck yourself. Dumbass. Usually wouldn't use that kind of language, but God, Mike Bloomberg fucking makes me mad. Also, you've been launching fucking ads against fucking people like Democrats all the time. Yeah, can't refute Bernie, so you're just gonna fucking blame some Bernie bros. Hold on. Hold on. Seems like the guy we're $60 billion posting. I'm pretty sure it's $61.9 billion. Just so you know, even more. Posting screenshots of poor people is the one dividing us. We're here to bring people together around an agenda widely supported by working people. You endorse George W. Bush. Got his ass. You're an oligarch investing $1 billion, so you won't have to pay 3.5 in taxes under Warren and Sanders. You also know you're going to. Oh yeah, he's just. This is honestly just a financial fucking investment for him. Mike Gravel over Mike Bloomberg. Yeah, no, yeah, like, no. I don't think like 99.9% of people aren't gonna refute that. Hold on. There was this funny meme I saw in response to Bloomberg. I'm gonna find it real quick. I don't know who it was by. I don't endorse them whatsoever. I just thought the meme I thought the meme was kind of funny. Hold on. It happened a while ago, so I gotta find it. What day was the State of the Union? I'm trying to find what day was the State of the Union. Bloomberg. Bernie bros are mean. Also, Bloomberg stop and frisking black is okay because crime is high. No, it was longer than last Tuesday. Pretty sure, I think, at least. It was. Oh no, you're right. Oh wait, no, not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. Yeah, because it was Tuesday, February 4th. It says okay. Yeah, no, Bloomberg. And we can't be mean in the Democratic Party. Also, Bloomberg. But the fucking minorities, the poor minorities. Yeah, no, fuck them. Why the fuck do you tweet so much, Bloomberg? No one fucking gives a fuck. Or Team Bloomberg, whatever. No one likes you. God. Except for corporate media. I actually happen to like you a lot. And everyone that you can give a shit ton of money to, they also happen to like you a lot. I don't know why. It's definitely not because you give them a shit ton of money, but yeah. Oh, so much scrolling. Oh, come on. Ugh. Come on. Oh, my finger's getting tired. Just show up already. Almost there. We're at February 6th. Bloomberg ads are everywhere. Yeah, look at how long it took me to scroll and get to February 4th, which was just 13 days ago. Is it this? I think it's this. Yep.
I think we've been the most transparent administration in the history of our country. Over the last 2 years, by more than 10, this causes cancer. In less than 2 years.
Actually, no. Not this. I'm so confused. Like, wait, I forget the gingerbread story. Did the gingerbread man lie a lot, or? Wait, does this? My mouse sounds like a feed, like pigs eating.
Administration that has failed.
Kind of does sound like a pig. Holy shit, he has so many fucking endorsements from a bunch of random people. Holy shit. Come on. I can't find it. There was this. God, that's what money gets you, is a bunch of people endorsing you.
Global warming, right?
I can't find it. Yeah, no, I know you can't see. I'm trying to find.
Always protect patients with pre-existing. You have a windmill 75% in value.
I can't tell if it's this. Fuck, let me see if I can find it on YouTube. Let's see. Turns into an ASMR view, ASMR stream. I can't find it. Okay, well, that's great. We'll just watch this instead. Yeah, I've already seen this. Hold on.
Barack Obama called Joe Biden
Best vice president America's ever had.
but Pete Buttigieg.
Okay, y'all, these are probably going to be the last two things I'm going to watch, so put it up on screen.
Buttigieg doesn't think much of the vice president's record. Let's compare. When President Obama called on him, Joe Biden helped lead the passage of the Affordable Care Act, which gave healthcare to 20 million people. And when parkgoers called on Pete Buttigieg, he installed decorative lights under bridges, giving citizens of South Bend colorfully illuminated rivers. Both vice presidents.
You know, that's kind of cool. I'm not going to cap.
and former Mayor Buttigieg have taken on tough fights. Under threat of a nuclear Iran, Joe Biden helped to negotiate the Iran deal. And under threat of disappearing pets, Buttigieg negotiated lighter licensing regulations on pet chip scanners. Both Vice President Biden and former Mayor Pete have helped shape our economy. Joe Biden helped save the auto industry, which revitalized the economy of the Midwest, and led the passage and implementation of the Recovery Act, saving our economy from a depression. Pete Buttigieg revitalized the sidewalks of downtown South Bend by laying out decorative brick. And both Biden
I feel like there
and
could have been a way,
Buttigieg
like, you
have
could have made, like, Pete look bad, because all these things that you're saying Pete did aren't necessarily bad. Like, they seem like good things, just on smaller scales. Like, Biden's kind of painting the picture that Buttigieg cares about the fucking little people right now, and that's kind of not good.
Hard decisions.
I don't think the ad's bad,
Despite
but
pressure from the NRA, Joe Biden passed the assault weapons ban through Congress. Then, he passed the Violence Against Women Act. And even when public pressure mounted against him, former Mayor Pete
okay, now
fired
this makes
the
him look
first
really bad.
African-American police chief of South Bend. And then he forced out the African-American fire chief, too. We're electing a president. What you've done matters.
Sorry. Someone walked in again. Okay. Famous California. One cave loses license after rat disco. Oh my god. I thought this was real. Alright, well, I think that's it for this stream. Yeah, it does seem like a very oddly specific thing to brag about, but well, that's old. That happened a little bit ago, and it's probably because Biden thinks that he could chip away at Buttigieg's support, because I mean they're both moderates. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I think. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you're new. Drop the like if you just like the stream in general. If you want to follow me or check out any other forms of media, down in the description is every single one. So is Vira's channel. If you like the debate earlier, you can go check out Vira's channel in the description. Join the Discord. That's mandatory. I want to get the Discord popping. If anyone in the stream isn't in the Discord, join it, because I just said so. But yeah, other than that, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.